I'm Rhyhorn, Trainer Steven.
Focus on it, Sean.
And we want to be your Po-Town heroes, your source for all your budget Pokemon needs. What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Po-Town Heroes, your source for all your budget Pokemon needs. I'm Rhyhorn, Trainer Steven.
Focus Scientist Sean.
And today we figured we would take a moment and instead of doing a deck list, I think it's time for another hype video. And this time around, we are doing hype for Celestial Storm.
The charisma side of the Celestial Storm.
Yes, indeed. So, without further ado, we'll just jump right in.
And
we're going off the Pokebeach list.
Yes.
But and then this time around, instead of going over every Pokemon, we're just going to
go for Final Evolutions.
Final
Maybe
Evolution.
basics if there's something funny about them or
something usable.
if there's something special about it.
Exactly. So we'll just jump right in. And the first Pokemon on this list is Sceptile. 140 HP, evolves from the Grovyle line. Its ability, Nature Power. Each of your Pokemon with Grass Energy attached receives no damage from attacks from your opponent's Ultra Beasts.
And this is going to be big because we're almost all the Ultra Beasts have been revealed thus far, and at least 3 of them have been seen major play of recent.
This shuts down Necrozma, which has been seeing a lot of play.
Duskmane can't touch you.
Duskmane can't touch you.
Buzzwole can't touch you.
So
and any other variants of Ultra Beasts.
So all the Ultra Beast decks pretty much shut down.
Damage side, yeah, but yeah.
But they can still use their effects and abilities and everything. But even then, I kind of see this being teched in a lot of decks.
I can see it being. I've heard it's being try to be tagged in a Vikavolt.
I can see it.
Tagged in with, and maybe Venusaur.
Honestly, this could almost be teched into anything, considering the fact a lot of.
It doesn't have to be Grass Energy itself. It can be a Rainbow.
Yeah,
it can be.
It just has to be a Grass Energy with a lot of stuff to also
Rainbow,
having
Counter Energy.
Yep, as long as it provides Grass. But even then, most Pokemon take at least colorless. I think there's only a few that are like a solid type.
I guess that's why a lot of those DCEs get played a lot.
Yeah, so in theory, you could instead of DCE put in a Grass Energy. You're now
add a little bit of Grass just so then you can have the protection.
Exactly. A Psychic Pokemon going up against Buzzwole, just attach a Grass Energy for the colorless cost.
So why wouldn't you just go with just like Rainbow?
You could go Rainbow.
Why would you? I mean, that Side Storm attack, powerful Storm. I don't think I'm going to be using just energy in place. So.
Well, yeah, Grass Energy, so 1 Grass, Powerful Storm, 20 damage, and 20 times the number of energy attached to your Pokemon in play. So, yeah.
And one of it has to be Grass, so Sceptile can attack.
Yeah, so I figured you could Rainbow, counter, all that kind of stuff, or you could even just attach a Grass Energy for a colorless. That still at least protects you, and if it's a colorless cost, it's not really going to matter much. You're now protected from Ultra Beasts.
Especially that Buzzwole.
So if you guys pull a Sceptile, definitely hold on to it.
Send it my way?
Send it our way, but also, it'll definitely be seeing a lot of play.
Oh, right.
Next up, we have Shiftry. This is a fun one. It's got 240, evolves from Nipple. I love the names for that Pokebeach does. But either way, 1 Grass, Perplex, 40 damage. Your opponent's active is now confused. That can help a lot.
Down, gives you another turn to get access to Access Entry.
A Grass and 2 colorless energy, 90 damage and 90 more if you and your Pokemon if you and your opponent have the same number of cards in your hand.
Judge,
Copycat.
There's the new Copycat about to come out.
Maybe N if you get
N
this.
stays in format. You got that new Lysin Tape Shauna type things.
Wait. So we'll have N for like another month, but even then, definitely Judge would be a good way or an easy way to do it.
Judge is absolute 4.
Yeah.
Copycat's absolute. I'm keeping the same hand size as you.
Yep. You will definitely see this on the channel if it doesn't pick up like heavy competitive play. You will see this on the channel.
I think it has merit.
And then let's see. For a Grass and 2 colorless, Fandemonium GX, shuffle 1 of your opponent's Pokemon and all cards attached to it to the deck.
Remember that Shiftry they got banned? We got the Force. It now has as a GX attack. Without the coin flip.
And the question is, could you use this?
Yes, you can use it to the end of the game. As it does not state it at this time. Unless the English printed says that it does. Right now, it's a game-winning solution.
Yeah, so as of right now, but we'll have to wait to see what the English translations are. All right, so we'll jump to the next
We
one.
got Bubble Surskit.
We've got,
We got. I like
yes.
the first attack on Masquerain.
yes, and then Masquerain.
But do you think you'd be using a card based on just one attack of it,
Just,
especially when it only has 90 hit points?
Yeah, let's see. Grass energy, surprising pattern. Discard all special energy attached to your opponent's Pokemon in play. That's a beast energy. That's a super boost. That's
Double colors are gone.
Yep.
Unfortunately, Raticate's about to rotate.
Yeah. So you
About a month after this rotate.
it would at least be a good deck for about a
be
good
funny.
month. It'd be funny.
If we can rush it, we can probably do it.
I think we might be able to throw that together real quick. Just something fun. And then for 3 colorless, Hurricane Wing, 40 damage, flip 4 coins. This attack does 40
Sadly,
damage times the number of heads.
Unless the first attack is really that good, I can't see this going past pre-release. Be a good pre-release champion. But damage output, I mean, you really had to run Victini to get more than just the 2 heads.
Yeah, well, there's nothing wrong with running a Victini.
No. So,
Ideas. Well, we'll see what we can come up with, because we could possibly focus on the Hurricane Wing, focus around the Victini, and do
Okay.
that.
so Volbeat and Illumise.
So yes, Volbeat and Illuminise. They have they're pretty much the same 70 HP basics, 1 grass energy attacks. But Pheromone Catcher, it does 20 damage, plus if your Illuminise used Pheromone Sign your last turn, it does 100 more damage. So, and then now the Pheromone Sign, 20 damage, your opponent's active is now confused. So is Volbeat as Pheromosa just ran off holding hands with Illuminise.
But you know what's sad though? I don't think even Mew could use Illumise's attack to get Volbeat to work, because it actually states Illumise to actually using it.
Yeah. So you confuse, the next turn you retreat and go into
I can
a
see these being
Volbeat.
really good pre-release kings, king and queen.
Oh,
It's funny, but
this might actually be... let's see,
Truthfully?
so it'd be 120. This might actually be like a legitimate deck. Put on a skateboards, you retreat for free, 1 grass energy. This,
now does it work past like turn 2 to 3 when everything's starting to get set up?
Lurantis?
We don't know. We don't know.
We'll tinker with this. Even if it's not the best deck, it'll still at least be a fun jank.
Oh, okay.
And you know how we love our jank.
Tropius. If you're running grass, you'll probably be tagging at least one of these in your deck.
Yes.
It is basically the grass version of Vulpix.
Yep. 1 grass
It does
energy.
take a grass energy.
Yeah, but that's easy enough to do. Grass energy, find a friend. Search your deck for 2 Pokemon, reveal them, put them to your hand. So
And note that fire is starting to rotate with all the good fire decks, minus Ho-Oh are rotating.
now,
So fire is kind of on a turning point. So fire weaknesses are going to be kind of good to have past rotation.
yeah, but Dragonstorm is introducing a lot of fun fire stuff. So it's
Yeah,
we'll have to
we'll
see.
cross that bridge when we get there.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
But yes, I can see Tropius being used a lot.
All right, and here's what we were talking about.
We will be playing that.
Yes.
We mentioned in our Tangrowth video,
Yep. That.
and it's a basic version of it, 10 less hit points in Tangrowth, but it comes with a better second attack.
Mm-hmm.
In case you don't have to Giga Drain.
So yeah, grass and colorless, Giga Drain, 30 damage, heal the same amount of damage you dealt to the active. Pretty much you run the same engine we did in Tangrowth,
Except
with
without
a couple mods.
Well, because it's a basic, you don't have to worry about, let's say, Tangrowth taking up extra spots.
Yep.
It can have access to Aether Paradise. It can have access to a lot of other potential tricks.
Yep. So
A bit faster.
this might be a faster version of Tangrowth. We will definitely at least showcase it off.
I'll try it.
Because we did bring it up. And then 2 grass and a colorless, powerful spin, 130. This Pokemon can attack during your next turn. I'm okay with that. I mean,
Yeah.
and even then,
I mean, it's a bigger, better attack than what's on Tangrowth, and it's for 130.
even then, Switch, Escape Rope, Guzma, kind of gets around
Can't
that little
attack.
thing.
Well, it's a basic Pokemon. Just Ace Rolla.
That
on
too.
you.
All right. Next up, Blaziken. Blaziken GX. It's a fire Pokemon with 240 HP. Double colorless energy, slash for 60.
You probably won't be using double colors in this deck because it is running heavily on fire, especially on that second attack.
It is. Second attack, 2 fire and a colorless, explosive kick, 210, discard 2 fire energy from this Pokemon.
You know, the Champion Road side of this set comes with a chicken that actually puts the energy back on.
Oh, I'm just glad Blaze energy
You can kick, take those 2 energy, put on the benched one, switch them because it has a single retreat cost. So you just retreat with the 1 energy still on.
I'm just glad that
open up
burn.
the GX attack, slowing down your opponent.
Yeah, I'm just glad the burn energy is not it's rotating.
Yeah,
because attached to the burning energy.
For about a month, burning energy is still a thing.
Yeah, so for a month, this thing's going to be practically unstoppable. And then 1 fire energy, Blaze Out GX, discard 2 energy from your opponent's Pokemon.
Great for setup, great for stalling, or stalling out a little bit. Give yourself a turn or 2.
Yeah.
Get rid of pesky double colors on the field.
Yep.
Etc.
All right, so next up we have Torkoal.
Won't be seeing much play out of fire.
Unfortunately. 120 HP, basic. Double colorless, burning guidance. 30 damage, discard the top 4 cards of your deck. If any fire energy were discarded this way, attach them to your Pokemon any way you like.
Mallow, Macargo.
I might actually run a Torkoal deck.
Unfortunately, you probably won't be running a lot of DCU with this thing. Look at the second attack.
2 fire and a colorless, searing flame, 80 damage. Your opponent is now burned.
Would you really be running double colors when 2 of your energy is fire to begin with?
Oh, I'll do it the long way. You know me.
Yeah.
This is my wheelhouse.
I could see it being a nice competitor in, like, say, Infernape, because it auto burns, so it's essentially swinging for 140 for 3 energy.
Yeah.
But outside of Infernape, I don't see
you
much potential except for an R realm.
Oh, you leave that to me. I got Torkoal figured.
I'm supposed to be the brains here.
Hey, you deal with flail. I deal with resource management.
Yes.
This is my wheelhouse.
If we get it to work, you will see it.
Yes, I will get this to work. Just gotta figure out the partner. All right, so now Orokoro. 1 fire it's 90 HP basic. 1 fire energy, Alluring Salsa. Switch one of your opponent's bench with their active. The new active is now Burn and Confused. That is really good.
That's hilarious.
That is really hilarious. That's definitely going in with Torkoal. And then a fire and 2 colorless, Heat Blast, 70 damage.
It could be a nice tech if you're really worried about metal, but outside of counter energy, I know there's a lot of counter energy revenge killers that are out there.
Yeah, and this might be
It's sad. It requires a 3rd energy. If it had 2, it probably would have been a little bit clear cut of actually seeing a little bit of play against metal.
I think so too.
And the grass is about to happen.
And now we're in the water.
Water.
Heard you like Mudkips. So, ooh, this one's actually pretty good.
I haven't heard that line in about 10 years.
I know, right? Colorless energy. Gather water. Search your deck for up to 3 water energy cards. Reveal them and put them into your hand. So that's already going to be a
so
good.
You choose whether you need energy or you choose to have more hit points.
Even then, something in water decks, especially with Greninja,
we'll run both. I think the meta will probably be running more of the 70 hit points.
More of this
the other one would probably run better with Crash or Wake.
Anything that requires setup.
Crash or Wake.
Yeah.
You grab 3 water energy unless your opponent ends you.
Play Crashing Wake, discarding 2 of them.
Still attaching energy. Got Crash Wake, discarding the other 2. And get any 2 cards you want. One probably is an Aqua Patch. The other card is probably the switch you need or Float Stone to keep moving. Or Rare Candy.
You do realize with that little combo, we possibly just made this thing a lot more broken.
Maybe we should make it broken so then.
All right, but it's all for the Swampert. This thing, we're not sure what's going to happen with this.
Its ability is better than that of Zoroark's, but it's on a stage 2.
Yeah. So real quick.
However, you heard that Quagsire and Dragonstorm? It was except for the 120 hit points it has. it might see a lot of play, especially around water.
Mm-hmm. And with Greninja starting to gain ground.
Kingdra, starting to see some hype for.
Mm-hmm.
It'll happen.
So yeah, 160 HP, stage 2. Ability is Power Draw. Once during your turn, you may discard a card from your hand, draw 3. This is
Super acceleration.
This is a lot better than Zoroark because you get 1 for 3.
I can see it being played more if you do a water heavy deck. I can see it being played more with Crash Awake.
Yep.
It'll always grant you at least 2 cards you need every turn.
Exactly. So here's pretty much what it is. You either... The Zoroark, unfortunately, it's still better. It's a stage 1. It's 1 for 2.
And it has 210 hit points, whereas this one has 160.
Right. However, you would draw more cards if you were to go with the Swampert route. So I think Swampert is going to be Zoroark if you either A, can't afford Zoroark, or in more water-focused decks.
And I did hear a couple analysis that 80 damage plus a choice man is on weakness is 210, 220. That's hitting a lot of GX ranges that are weak to it.
That is. And then what is
But
this?
unfortunately, a lot of the fire Pokemon that are in GX range are usually about 250.
Roughly.
So you're just missing it unless you have 1 water energy.
So what does this do? 3 colorless, Hydro Pump 80, does 20 more for each water attached to this Pokemon.
So assuming all of it's water, 140
Yeah.
easily.
And then if only there was a way to accelerate water energy.
Unfortunately, fire's starting to take it down nosedive, so fire's not going to see as much play. So water will have to hit for brute force versus the weaknesses it could be using.
Yeah, easily.
This is a card we'll probably be trying out after Quagsire gets released.
Yes, yes, indeed. Wailord. 220 HP, stage 1.
220 hit points on a stage 1?
Yes. It's Wailord. Did you really expect anything less?
I was expecting Blissey, but I mean, in the video game, who has the highest hit points in the game?
Blissey followed immediately by Wailord.
It would be Blissey, Chansey, Guzzlord.
You do realize that they brought it.
That sits at 5th.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Huh.
Waffet beats it.
Well, I'll be.
He sits at 5th. And yet he has the most hit points in the game when Blissey in the video game has higher.
Yeah, huh.
Fancy that.
That is weird. Alright, so 220 HP, stage 1. 4 water energy, dwindling wave. 200 damage, minus 40 less for each damage counter on this Pokemon.
Water Spout. If people are familiar with the video game lore.
Oh, yeah. So now.
So make sure it's healed all the time.
Yep, well, even then, we got the Wailord.
Celebi,
Yeah.
but unfortunately, if your opponent's hitting you that hard, I think Max Pose will probably be a little bit better.
Or even Luna. That way you don't have to, or Lana, just so you don't have to get rid of the water energy.
I mean, yeah, but that's why I want Quagsire. Because you could retreat, move energy to the active, or even use an Articuno so you could just swap the 1 energy, retreat, or switch, retreat.
Okay, stop giving them ideas. These are our ideas for now.
I thought this was the point of a hype video.
Okay, true. So, yeah, this could
Wailord
be...
will be seen play either as stall or as brute force.
Yeah, we will run this.
200 damage.
I know.
And with water starting to get a lot of good tech outside of Aqua Patch.
The 4 definitely makes it interesting, but... So now...
I can see these as being a pre-release king and queen.
Yes.
That Huntail will destroy the pre-release.
Yes. So we got Clamperl. It's a basic evolutionary advantage. If you go second, this Pokemon can evolve during your first turn. Question is the Clamperl worth evolving into the first turn?
Huntail?
We've got Huntail and Gorbis. Huntail has 110, 1 water energy, big bite, 30 damage, and the defending Pokemon can't retreat during your next turn.
So 120 if they're... Oh, big bite.
And then a water and 2 colorless dangerous bite, 40 damage, plus if it's a basic, it does 80 more damage.
How many of the big meta cards are basics?
Buzzwole, the Necrozma, yeah.
Pretty much the ones that aren't dependent on double colorless.
So that's at least 120.
Choice band 150, and you're missing 40 damage more to taking out GXs?
Yeah, so you're at least 2-shotting with a Huntail, so it's not incredibly bad. Maybe Porygon Z.
And if I remember correctly, I think there is a double colors other than this or Champion Road that will be in this set. So this won't be impossible to get off going turn 1.
Although
in the pre-release.
although Porygon Z,
The Evolve.
and then hit for 120.
We'll get back to you on that.
Yeah, we'll find something stupid with this.
Hey, Isaac.
And then Gorbis, 90 HP, water, 1 water, pink spray, 30 damage. Prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by evolution Pokemon during your opponent's next turn.
You know what Espeon says? That's cute. Drop 10, knockout.
Yeah.
The effects of attacks are... Damage is nice, but effects of attacks are going to be probably better.
Yeah. So I think if out of the two,
But
the
to
Huntail
be
is
fair,
going
it
to be
does
more
have
effective.
something Huntail doesn't have. Free retreat.
Yeah. So
I keep pointing at the screen.
I know,
I mean, they can't see that.
but yeah, the Gorbis has 0 retreat. But I think out of the two, the Huntail is going to be the better option. Next up, we have Love Disc.
We don't know where it sits in the meta. It will be a nice early game lead, especially with people who are using that Laylee fan club / Bridget combo.
Yep.
It can even up the game.
Now it's
especially
only
going-
it's only going to be for a month. Bear that in mind.
Well, they still have fan club.
That is true.
So you copy their setup numbers. So if you start with just the 1 or 1 and 1, you have now almost a full bench. There's a couple of decks that would love to have this as a lead, if they can get as a lead. But if you don't get it in your opening hand, there doesn't have any merit afterwards
Yeah.
because it's really based on that first attack.
It is. So, 1 colorless energy, even game. Search your deck for a number of basic Pokemon up to the number of your opponent's bench Pokemon and play them on your bench. Then shuffle your deck.
How many decks would love to play around with their own bench or bench in general?
A lot.
And Polion?
This actually might, with a lot of people worried about Bridget rotating out here in September, this might replace Bridget.
For a short while in case we get some
Maybe.
more. I mean, it's a good early game tech,
Yeah.
but mid game, if you're struggling, it could reset the game. If we get down to basically a 6 prize game again, where the GXs aren't the main show anymore.
So this might get teched in at least one or two just for a just in case.
And decks like Empoleon and the soon-to-be Ludicolo love playing a lot of numbers on the field. Or even Zoroark if you don't have access to Bridget or fan clubs have been prized. You didn't prize that.
Yep, just 1 energy in your setup. And then for double colorless, Water Pulse for 20 and they're asleep.
Yeah,
It's
I wish it did have a free retreat, but you can't have everything.
I've noticed like a lot of stuff that should have free retreat has 1 retreat.
It's a skateboard range, so.
Yeah. And
But I don't want to stay on the field, so after it's used.
all right, so next up we have Regice. Excuse me.
Merit, I think it's a little bit better than the one in Crimson Invasion.
It definitely
Unless your
is.
point is to wall stage 2s, locking stadiums in play, like Shrine, Commandment Shrine, or something hits that barrier.
Yeah, that would pretty much Forbidden Shrine, Regice, you can't get rid of it.
Yeah, you can field bore it, but you can't actually use your own stadium to replace it.
Expanded, you got Skyfield, let's see, Lysander's Lab, like anything that's like stadium reliant.
If you need one more turn with that stadium in play, minus a field bore,
Yep.
just throwing up just as a sacrifice.
And then for a water and a DCE, 60 damage and they're asleep. So it's
No
not-
coin flip. They had to do the coin flipping.
Yeah.
Auto sleep, which is nice, especially if they get the tails.
Yeah, so it's definitely not bad. Kyogre. It's such a
I will do a shout out. The Wasi from PTG Radio did enlighten me about how good this dual swatch could be, especially with all the water tech coming out. Most of your basic Pokemon like Zorua and Ralts and stuff have 60 hit points. It's 2-shotting.
It is.
Plus Cocos and stuff. Cocos and Softenage and these to finish off targets. You're getting a lot of damage spread out there.
Yeah, there is
Damage
definitely.
spread might be a thing coming into the next format. And a lot of it.
You know,
I have a feeling that Porygon Z might become a good counter to a lot of decks.
except that face, that derpy face.
Is it derping or is it laughing?
it's probably laughing. It's a splashing in the.
Or is it more of a hysterical laughter? Doesn't know whether to cry or laugh.
Still, just the look of it, or the look.
Yeah, I think Kyogre does have merit, especially with water getting better and getting stronger.
Yeah.
So have you noticed when water is good, fire is not? When fire is good, water is not?
I have noticed that. And then for 2
They have
water,
to balance out.
yeah, and then 2 water and a colorless, Grand Wave, 120, and it can't use Grand Wave during your next
2 free
turn.
weakness, you're hitting one shots, but other than that, your 130 is usually the range you want to hit.
Yeah.
So, well, the new Blaziken, you're one-shotting,
Yeah, pretty much.
and that's going to be the next GX Fire deck, so that Reshiram and that new Charizard card coming out, Charizard is probably going to be pretty well. We don't know how well it's going to do.
Yeah.
It has promise, but we'll get to that when we get to Dragonstorm.
All right. So next up we have Manectric. It actually has an ability similar to Talonflame.
But you can play as many of them
James,
as long
you
as
owe
you
me
go
another cook, by the way. Volt Start. It's got 110 HP, stage 1. Volt Start, if you go second, you can play this card face down from your hand during setup.
as many as you have in your opening hand.
Mm-hmm.
And anything you draw through the top deck.
Yep.
Or mulligans or whatnot.
And then for 1 lightning energy, double charge, 40 damage, attach 2 basic energy from your hand to one of your bench.
We're losing Letter, but we're getting Lana.
Lady.
Electric, late. We gain Lady, losing Letter.
Yep.
So, early game, we can probably use Lady to help accelerate the field, spread out the energy. But it's to one Pokemon at a time, so we'll see.
And it is a solid electric, so
And it does have a free retreat, so that could be a plus.
that really could be a plus. So it just depends.
Manectric is probably my favorite electric Pokemon, so I'm glad it's actually seeing some play. Manectric GX in the future?
I'm still waiting for a Rhyperior GX.
That would be golden.
Because Pokemon, I don't know if you realize this, you really haven't had a good Rhyperior since
Level X.
since the Level X back in Diamond and Pearl. And if anyone can point me to a different Rhyperior, I collect them all. They go in the collective, but I don't think there's a better Rhyperior than the Level X, which was back in Diamond and Pearl. Bring it back as a GX.
I mean, they did try to do a reprint of it ramped up hit points and damage, but
They did it of the mill, but honestly, if they brought back the GX, or if they brought it in as a GX, just run it like the Level X. The only difference is you make the shuffle all your bench or all your fighting energy back into the deck. Make that the GX attack. Problem solved.
maybe they don't want to make something too good.
Yeah, because they know I would break it. All right, so next up we got Plusle and Minun. They same like the Luminease. It's got 70 HP along with the Minun basic.
They will be seen play a bit, depending on what your deck needs, whether it needs more of a Sycamore-like effect or whether it needs more of a hand refresh.
Yep.
And a massive hand refresh.
Yep, because you got the Plusle, colorless or single energy, everyone's draw. Shuffle your hand into your deck, draw a number of cards equal to the number of bench Pokemon.
Chorus.
Both yours and your opponent's. So
If you can get it out early game, it'd be nice.
yep, especially with a bunch of the setup stuff that's out right now.
After Love Disc, Empoleon Love Disc combos, we can get that going.
I think so.
Sacrifice 1 or 2 Pokemon to make sure your deck sweeps.
And then lightning and colorless, Electro Ball for 30.
Probably not going to be used for Electro Ball unless it has to use it.
Exactly. And then Minun, playful draw. You may discard a card from your hand, draw cards until you have 5 in your hand. So that's not bad.
I like it. Get rid of a useless card out of your hand, or that extra Bridget, or Fan Club you don't need. Pitch it and then draw 5.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yes, it forces judged end plays, but you just force your opponent to change their hand as well, whether they wanted to or not.
Yep.
Maybe sooner than they wanted to.
And then they got the he has the Electro Ball attack.
Or they
as
had
well.
the choice between Judge or Guzma, and they had to use Judge to prevent you from setting up for next turn.
Yep. Now this one's going to be fun.
We will be using this.
Anything
Anything that splashes lightning.
Exactly. So 90 HP. Basic Pokemon, Lightning Energy. Sparkling Pom-Poms. This attack does 30 damage to each Pokemon GX and EX in play.
Both sides.
Which,
However, if you don't run a whole lot or run ones that want to get hit, that's fine.
That's
Tauros or running Drampa in your deck, so you hit something on the bench. Drampa now hits a little harder.
Yep. And then for a Lightning and 2 colorless, Lightning Ball, 70 damage. We're definitely going to try to build a deck around this.
We'll see how well the electric weaknesses starts popping up here shortly. Right now, the relevant ones are Empoleon and Ho-Oh. Maybe Gyarados now and again. But when more electric weaknesses start popping up,
Actually, just kind of have...
well, we'll get to it. We'll get to it later.
We'll get to it, because I actually think I just had an idea. Next up, we have Spoink and Grumpig.
Do you know how many decks run at least a Lele and or an Oranguru?
Yes, indeed.
And they just have to have the same name? So, how many decks do you know that run at least the Oranguru, if not the Lele?
Oranguru, Lele, yeah. I mean, it'd be easy to do.
Zoroark. I can see a Buzzwole counter so long as you're running a Oranguru or Zoroark.
Yeah, because let's see, it does...
On a choice span, you're swinging for 80 so long as one of your Pokemon matches the name of your opponent's.
Yep, so 1 energy, 10 damage, and then if your opponent's Pokemon to play have the same name as your Pokemon to play, it does 70 more. So that's 80 damage
So the most
for 1.
common 3 Pokemon I can think of, Oranguru, Zoroark, Lele. So long as you're running one of those in your deck, make sure it's the GX or the Oranguru itself. You're at a choice span, you're one-shotting a Buzzwole.
Easily.
A Buzzwole counter.
Easily.
As long as your opponent doesn't anticipate it. Wish it were basic, but
So next up we have a Bayonet for it's got 90 HP. It evolves from the Shuppet, stage 1. Its ability, Red Eyes. When you play this card from your hand to evolve a Pokemon during your turn, you may play a basic Pokemon from your opponent's discard pile onto their bench. This sets up a lot of fun decks.
and adds an Empoleon. For like Empoleon, adds a Pokemon to the field.
Yeah, it makes Empoleon stronger. It makes anything that relies on.
You know that Dusknoir that has Mind Jack as an attack. It can force a Pokemon to the field, and that can force a Pokemon to the field.
Yeah, so we could force them to have a full bench.
And hit as hard as we can.
Exactly, stuff with like Zoroark, with anything that really attacks the bench. So it'd be easy enough to do. And then for a Psychic and a Colorless enemy show, you count the number of your opponent's Pokemon to play and put that many damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon any way you like.
So in standard, up to 6 damage counters across their field. How you like?
So that's definitely
It
gonna
gets around a lot of barrier type of effects.
because it's
Makes your
placing damage
mind's
counters.
like, you have nothing on me.
So that's gonna be really, really fun. Then we have
Deoxys trio.
the 3 Deoxys.
Not the normal form, but the other forms.
Yep. So we've got they all vary in HP. We have the Psychic Deoxys we have Speed form or regular
Attack form.
Attack form. So the attack form Deoxys, double colorless energy, Psychic, 20 damage, and then this attack does 20 more damage for each energy attached to your opponent's active. So that's really good.
It's the same attack that's on Mewtwo. A plus with this card, instead of having 2 or 3 Chicos, as 1.
On top of that, it's a one prize attacker.
And that other Mewtwo was 2, but once it got to the active, it's hard to get out of the active.
But now that's not going to be an
That
issue.
single retreat cost, being that skateboard is going to be replacing Flowstone wherever it can.
Yep.
And you're not locked in paralysis.
And then Power Blast, 2 Psychic and a Colorless. Power Blast, 120 damage. Discard 1 energy from this Pokemon.
That seems like a lot, but there's the promo Deoxys that basically acts like an experience share towards your Deoxys Pokemon. You get to pull psychic energy from one Pokemon to a Deoxys.
Even then, Malamar.
Malamar too.
I mean, there's definitely ways to.
You can run just Deoxys.
You could. Which, maybe we should look into that?
Yeah.
All right, next up we got Defense Form. Colorless Energy, Reflect. During your opponent's next turn, it takes 40 less damage from attacks.
That could be the difference. That's essentially giving 170 hit points early game.
Yeah, that could be a lot.
Stall.
That could be a big
Stall for a while.
That could be a big game changer right there.
Too bad End's rotating.
And then a psychic
Or
two-colorless.
Ninja Boy's rotating.
I know that would be just attack with the
Deoxys switch it.
yep. So psychic and two-colorless, psychic screw, 80 damage, and this attack's damage isn't affected by resistance. So a constant 80 every turn.
Yes.
That's definitely not bad. Actually, you know what? So 80, choice span, 90, 100, 110.
You are getting one shot on balls so long as you're carrying a psychic energy and
Yeah.
a choice band.
220. That'll be easy enough.
Yeah.
All right, and next up we have Speed Form Deoxys. It's only got 100 HP, but 1 psychic energy, teleport break, 20 damage, and you
Being in the
switch this with
speed
the
form, I'm
bench.
surprised it doesn't have a free retreat cost.
I know, right?
I mean,
And
it's
then-
the single fastest Pokemon in the game without help.
Easily. And then three colorless energy, Spear Dive. This attack does 50 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon, and it isn't affected by weakness or resistance. So,
So poke something for 50.
yep. So it's almost like the Garchomp, but without, but as a
Garchomp,
basic and one more.
Yeah.
That's still definitely not bad. All right. So next up we have Medicham. This one's definitely going to be fun.
Yes.
I know you're gonna run it with the Metatite. With for 1 fighting energy, Bide. Flip a coin. If heads, this Pokemon will be. If this Pokemon would be knocked out by damage from an attack during your opponent's next turn, it's not knocked out, and its remaining HP is 10 instead. I see you running that.
I am going to run it because it sounds a lot like Flail.
I know.
Or
and-
Flail-like in abilities.
I know, and it's. I already
Medicham?
don't like.
Well, see that Medicham? It's really based on that first attack.
Yes, it is. For 2 fighting energy, Enlightened Strike, 10 damage. If this Pokemon's HP is 30 or less, it does 160 more damage. That's 170 for 2.
Choice band that's 200 damage flat.
Easily.
Oh wait, there's probably something in this set that probably does it a little bit better.
Easily.
We'll get to that at the bottom.
Yeah,
And
when we
remind
get
you what it does.
when we
remind
get
you.
there, we get there.
But that bite attack, I mentioned in one of Walsey's videos that Medicham could be viable if we got it a good Metatite. It came with the attack I was hoping would be on it.
Mm-hmm.
A Endure-like attack, which is bite.
Easily.
10 hit points left.
But
Evolve.
but it is flip a coin. We could, in
You
theory.
couldn't do Victini unless. So do you bite and then when your opponent attacks, you flip the coin, or is it you just flip a coin if they attempt the attack for the knockout?
Well, it's flip a coin of heads if it would be knocked out. So you would have to hope
Their opponent falls into the trap.
if they fall into the trap and you get heads.
Lucky you get heads on your turn, which if it's the effect of the attack, you can do Victini, you get 2 coin flips.
Easily.
If it's on your opponent's turn, you won't have the extra Victini.
Yep. And then the Metachan, 2 fighting, spinning kick, 90 damage. It does 30 to itself.
It can hit itself if it needs to, but I'd rather my opponent hit it to the 10 left,
Yep.
and then the fun begins.
Shenanigans ensue. So you will see this on the channel.
Yes, you
We-
will.
We will build it.
And
Next,
by Steven's decision, we will be running this deck.
yes, it is. It will be my
Steven will.
It will be my decision to run the Stevens Decision deck along with the Stevens Decision Claydol. For color, it's got 110 HP, evolves from Baltoy. Double colorless Cybolt. 20 damage, flip a coin if heads. The active is now paralyzed.
It's all right, and it is for single colorless energy, not a double colorless.
So
For people out there that saw it before, it's for a single energy.
yeah, so
But that double colorless, you're 1 energy shy from actually being able to attack for the full damage.
easily. And
So
then,
this is a late game fighter.
yes, it is, because for fighting in a double colorless, Miraculous Spin, it does 40 damage times the number of Steven Decisions cards in your discard pile.
Wait,
So
what?
that's-
No joke? That's what it says.
Yeah, so 4, 8, 12. That's 160
Yeah.
for 3 energy.
And weakness, you only need 2 in there in a choice band. You're one-shotting most of the relevant Pokemon that are weak to fighting.
Easily.
So,
And even if you're not, you're still doing enough damage.
yes. And if not, you can just stall them out a turn or two with the heads.
Yep. So it will be Steven's decision to run the Claydol in a Steven's decision deck. It will be featured on the channel. All right, next up we have
Stomp.
Regirock.
This probably would be the card that replaces the Watch and Learn Pokemon, the Sudowoodo,
Maybe.
because of that first attack for single energy.
Yeah,
So long as it has a tool attached,
it does 40 for 1. That's definitely not
plus
bad.
the effect of the tool, Choice Band,
Yeah,
and Diancie being all of those fighting techs for a single energy.
you almost could run a deck with. Let's see. Hold on. Let's do the math on that.
I will be revitalizing Regibox. We might have a mix and match Reggie now.
It's that.
Most of these Reggies are better on the attacks overall.
I am perfectly okay with that. So let's see. So 20 damage. If there's a tool attached, 20 more.
40. So on a Choice
40,
Band,
50,
that's
60,
70.
70.
Choice Band, that's 70.
90 with a Diancie.
And while it still exists, the Choice Band, the Strong Energy, for the month it will exist.
That's 110. That's 220.
That's one-shotting Zoroarks.
That's a 220.
Zoroarks, Savalis. Anything.
Yeah.
So, things are within range. If not, you're going to take a good chunk out of a Zoroark on a single energy attack.
Easily. And then for
Unfortunately, with the 120, you'll probably get revenge on the
revenge
next turn.
killed, yeah. And then 2 fighting in a colorless, hammer arm, 100, discard the top card of your opponent's deck.
So if it stays around much longer, you can actually go to counter energy. Let's go for
And
the
just start
one-shots.
milling, yep. Alright, so next up we got Groudon. So let's see what kind of mysteries this holds. A fighting in 2 colorless, wreck. 50 damage. If there's a stadium in play, it does 50 more damage.
Reminds me
Discard
of
the
a card
stadium.
of its version.
So that's 100 for 3, and you get rid of the stadium?
We'll see how well acceleration is for fighting post-rotation.
Exactly.
Once we lose carbon, I wonder how well it's going to do afterwards. The damage output is great. Getting the energy on in the first place is going to be the hard part.
It is. But a 2 fighting, 2 colorless, ground smash, 130, discard 1 energy from this Pokemon.
If you have to.
1 energy? That's not bad.
But you're also using 4 energy when the previous tag was doing 100, which in most cases is enough with the Choice Band to do one-shots,
Easily.
especially on weakness.
So
I mean, yes, it can be used to wreck a stadium, but there's better stadium break Pokemon out there. And Field Blower exists. So unless you're playing around with guards wrecking your format, after post-rotated Field Blower is pretty much the only thing that's
yeah,
better. Guy Field Blower and save my attack for something else.
that is
Or
true.
even that Regigigas. No, not Regigigas, but the Regirock. It hits hard. Better attack. Overall attack.
Almost could run the 2, or the both of them.
The plus of Groudon, it's not doesn't get revenge killed by a Zoroark as easily
Yeah. It's,
because of the 130 hit points.
although once it's in the active, it's staying in the active. It's got 4 retreat.
During our Champion Road set, I will do a prediction, and I'll let you know what the prediction is then.
So yeah, definitely keep an eye out for that video. I think we're gonna have it up the next upload cycle if everything goes right.
Yes.
Fingers crossed, everything goes right. All right, so next up we have Miner. This is going to be, some tells me
interesting.
this is going to be a cheeky one if anyone's going to play.
I was hoping to have the 1 retreat cost as it shows here on the page, but it actually had the 2 retreat cost. I was hoping for 1.
But let's see what it does. Once during your turn before your attack, if this card is in your hand and you have room on your bench, you may play this card as your active and move your old active
It
Pokemon to the
essentially
bench.
has, without the energy moving, it has the same ability as Coco or soon to be Articuno.
Which honestly, this could lead to some pretty cheeky plays.
So you can play down Rush in, and then you go Guzma and pick a target when this enabled to switch. Like say Golisopod, they can't attack twice in a row.
That's
or
true.
Oh, can't attack twice in a row with that 180 damage attack. Now it can on a Guzma, and you can pick the target for the next 180 damage, 210.
Or another cheeky thing, especially with Golisopod, you wouldn't even need the switch. If anything, just Acerola.
How much?
Because here's what I'm thinking: you would play this from your hand, retreat the Golisopod, put out the Miner.
Yes.
You end the turn, you get attacked, or the miner gets attacked.
You throw up Coco,
Either
and then retreat into the.
throw out the Coco if it gets knocked out, or you play Acerola or Scoop Up, put the miner into your hand,
Yes.
bring out the Glycopod.
That reminds me of a
go for
Wishy-Wash I played for a while before Coco was a thing.
Go for the attack, get whatever your knockout or whatever your thing is. The next turn,
So you're saying
do it
this
again.
could be actually a really good budget Coco, more or less?
This could be a budget Coco.
It does come as a switch ability.
Yep. So this is definitely going to have some cheeky plays attached to it. I don't see it being really super competitive.
Depending how good that ability is, I might play it.
Yeah. It
But
just
you'll want to run Acerola Super Scuba to get it off the field so it's not taking up a bench spot
that
later in the game.
That is if you're doing this as if you're dedicating it to the ability.
Or you need something to get knocked out and not the GX.
Exactly.
And you need one more turn.
So
Opponent has 2 prizes, you give them 1 prize versus 2 to get just so you can secure the game instead.
yep. So like I said, this is going to be some more cheeky plays, but I still think this could see some
I wish
play.
it had 1 retreat cost so I can use a skateboard as the free retreater. But you can't have everything.
Exactly. And then Swift, 30 damage, or one fighting
It's
energy, Swift, 30 damage, unaffected, blah, blah, blah.
So 30 damage will go through regardless what happens.
All right, so next up we have...
We might want to go over the 2 Beldums because there's 2 of them. One has more hit points. One gets free retreat so long as there's 3 Beldums in play.
So comes down to which one do you want to do? More HP?
Free retreat or more hit points.
That's pretty much what it is. Free retreat or more HP. Either one doesn't matter. But obviously,
Metagross.
we got to see what the Metagross does. Oh yeah, if this is your active Pokemon and you play Steven's Decision from your hand, your turn doesn't end. Reminder: Steven's Decision ends your turn when you play it. So that's searching for 3 cards. Your turn doesn't end.
Steven will be running the Claydol version. I'll be running just the Metagross version. He'll be running the combination version.
I'll be running combo.
I'll be running Metagross stall.
Yeah, I'm
Metagross version.
I'm definitely going to be running the pure Stevens deck.
The only downside is actually making sure that attack hits the second time consistently.
Yes.
The only problem, Guzma. Guzma ruins a lot of setup.
Guzma, Escape Rope, anything like that would definitely shut this down. That one I will admit, or anything that shuts off abilities.
Yeah, you will see this deck on the channel.
Although, if you really sit down and think about it, if with an ideal hand, Beldum, Steven's Decision, Rare Candy, Metagross, whatever your next
You know,
thing
it
is.
is Metagross. You know how easily it would be to attack in 1 GX, just first GX attack? Just search your deck for 5 cards and your turn, force an end play, or judge, and if they don't, you keep those 5 cards you wanted, place down the 2 other Beldums, maybe a Baltoy.
Yeah, so
This
could be another Garchomp.
and Metagross, the GX, make sure you're not without that 1 energy.
Yep, and even then, Mount Cornet. Worst case scenario, Crushing Hammer. Okay, we'll bring it back with Mount Cornet.
Yes.
So this could be a consistency that, and
Metagross might see a lot of play. We'll just see how well.
Question is, will it be a tech or will it be just a metal specific? That's the question. And even then, you pretty much run the Metagross.
Well, it has to splash a little bit of metal, but how much metal can it take?
Although, what's the metal unit energy paired with?
Psychic and Lightning.
Psychic and Lightning? Dang it, so it wouldn't go with the fighting.
You know,
Rainbow.
Psychic and Fighting have never been on the same energy, except for Rainbow.
I know.
Rainbow
So we might have to go with the Rainbow route.
And to be fair, if you're running that many Metagross, you have access to Super Boost energy that you could have fetched out with the algorithm too.
That is true. So,
Or the new Leisa card that we're going to be showing you here in a minute.
yeah, so that's going to be pretty easy.
But anything more with Metagross other than they will see it on this channel?
You will see it on the channel. 1 metal energy, Meteor Mash, 60 damage. Next turn, it does 60 more damage.
Yeah. So much like Garchomp, this will be based around the supporter, the trainer it belongs to. But
Yeah, so Metagross will see play. If definitely by us. The only question is, will it see actual competitive play? So next up, we've got Registeel, 120 HP. Hard body. This does 20 less damage.
Yes,
sorry.
it has less hit points than its other one, but with the ability, unless it gets shot off, has essentially more hit points than the previous.
Yep.
Except for the energy acceleration attack, it has actually a better overall attack.
That is true.
How many Pokemon out there have abilities? Essentially all of them, more or less.
Essentially all of them, yeah.
The ones that get used do.
Yep.
And if they don't, something's using the ability to enhance them. Magnezone, Diancie, Zoroark, Lele.
Yep. So metal, 2 colorless, 60 damage. If it has an ability, 60 more.
I mean, you're one-shotting Gardevoirs.
That's 120 with Metagross to accelerate metal, or to accelerate.
I think Regibox. Dusting off Regibox.
Definitely doing Regibox with
And what's nice about Savali, I would ran with Savali. What's nice, it covers types and weaknesses these can't fight against.
Yeah, easily. So
All we're missing is the water memory and maybe like a metal or something else.
yeah, we could definitely figure something out. Jirachi Prism Star. This one's interesting. So it's got 80 HP. And now
it forces Guzma plays.
It forces Guzma plays, but here's the thing. You can't have more than one Prism card. Everyone already knows that. Ability, Wish Upon a Star. You can use this ability during your turn. If you take this card as a face-down prize card, put it in your hand, and if you have room on your bench, you can play it on your bench, then take one more prize card. There's a lot of stuff that deals with stuff and prizes. We have a Guzzlord, which can take 2 prizes. We have, we have a Guzzlord that can take 2 prizes. We have a Kartana that can just take 1 prize. We have Greedy Dice that if you draw it, you get more prizes. There's a lot of prize stuff, and honestly, we could build a janky deck around this Jirachi. I really think we could.
If anything else, that attack alone is destructive enough.
Yes. 3 colorless.
It does force somebody using Switch and resources to burn just to get their Pokemon out of the active if they want to keep it.
Yes. So 3 colorless energy. Dream of Destruction. 10 damage. This Pokemon is now asleep. At the end of your opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon is knocked out.
So the only problem with 3 energy is that you need 3 energies. So this might be limited decks that rain energy down to the field. But
Magnezone?
Magnezone, so they got 2 of them, and it's colorless energy, so anything.
Exactly. So we could do metal or the electric.
And to be fair, Gardevoir can protect in 1 because it does accelerate energy to the field.
Yeah, so this definitely could see some play, especially if you were to do Greedy Dice and all that kind of stuff. So that's definitely going to be fun. And next up, we have more baby Ultra Beasts.
And they're very clutch. They're very interesting.
This is the fun one. Celesteela, 140 basic Pokemon Ultra Beast. A metal and 4 colorless energy. Moonraker, 160 damage. If the total of both players' remaining prize cards is 6, this attack's cost is metal.
Goes from, it basically ignores its colorless energy to attack.
Yep.
For that 1 opening hit, just to go 1 shot.
Naganadel.
Reset.
Yeah.
1 shot?
Reset the prizes.
So you could theoretically have a chance to do this twice.
Theoretically. 260.
If anything else, in metal or lightning decks that can splash a metal energy.
Easily.
Could easily run a tech of 1 of these.
Easily.
Because Magneto could just rain the energy on it.
Yes.
What do you do? Take a 1 prize off that?
Yeah, so either you could do something like Magnezone and just pay it manually, or just wait until late game and just smack it for 1.
Yes.
It comes down to what your playstyle is and what deck it's going to go
The
into.
plus would be taking something out with it, preferably a GX, and being it's 10 damage shy of most the starting range of GXs. Except for Marshadow, but
yeah, but the only drawback is I think the only thing you're going to be hitting for weakness will be Glaceon,
Sylveon, and the Gardevoir. But the thing is, most of them are one-shotting anyways.
Yeah, and even then, not a lot of them are seeing
160 plus choice band on a single energy. You're one-shotting 190. That's Buzzwole, Necrozma.
That is true.
Hitting all the basic GXs except for the super big ones like Guzzlord.
Yeah. So this will definitely be a tech, or if no one does, they should.
Artana, if it can be done fast, it could be a really good early game sweep.
Yep. Because
It can get the first. It can be a good donk deck. The closest to a donk deck, because you can't. Donking means you're donking out before your opponent has a chance to play.
and they've kind of got rid of that.
Because you now have to have 2 energy attachments.
Yep. So 60.
60 hit points, sadly.
So-
but it hits 130 if your opponent has 6 prizes remaining.
Yeah. So pretty much until they take a prize, it's doing 90, 110, 20,
And-
130.
So 130, you're early game, you're probably getting a knockout.
Yeah. And
Even against Coco, even with resistance, you're still getting the 110 on it. So which
yeah,
is probably the most common lead Pokemon.
yeah, it'll definitely work.
Stack Attacka, I have a deck in theory for it. I'm just waiting for them.
Yeah. Now here's the drawback. Real quick, it's 180 HP. It's finally nice that we get another Steel Ultra Beast. But
I'm glad it wasn't fighting.
I'm very glad it wasn't
Now
fighting.
Buzzle has resistance to everything if you can tag 1 or 2 of these in.
Yep. So
And it has a better GX attack for late game than Buzzle does.
Yep. So here's what it does. The ability is Ultra Ball. Any damage done to your Ultra Beast by an opponent's attack is reduced by 10. So the more you have,
Each Stack Attacka.
So if you had 2 of them out, it's reduced by 20. 3 of them out, that's by 30. I honestly don't know if it's going to be seeing a lot of play. At most, maybe
I will
1 or 2.
I accept the challenge.
Well, if we were to build the deck around the stack Attacka.
You know, there is a GX that just came out. They attacked for a single colorless energy. Naganadel.
That is
Ultra
true.
Beast deck.
That is, like I said,
And it'll have essentially what? So it has 210 and basically 250 hit points.
yeah. Here's pretty much what it is. A lot of people have been looking at the ability and saying, you know what, it's probably going to be teched into Ultra Beast stacks, or be let's see, any
Well, it has
damage
to be
done to
Ultra
your
Beast.
Ultra Beast by an opponent. So
So it
yeah,
has to be Ultra Beast deck.
people are thinking maybe pair it with Buzzwole, pair it with
If it were
Guzzlord,
fighting
and all that
type,
kind of stuff.
it would have been a replacement of Regirock in Buzzwole decks.
Yeah.
I'm glad it didn't turn to the rock type. It could have been.
Exactly. But even then, it only reduces by 10. I know 10 can make or break games, but I just don't
What about
see-
plus, minus 20, 30, 40? That's when it starts getting the ranges where you just miss the knockout
Yeah, but
and you go max potion.
But even then, are you really going to play 4 of these plus
Yes.
whatever your main attacker and any support?
Yes.
I know we would, but I don't really see this be more than like
the
a
deck
2
works,
up.
you'll see it on the channel.
Yeah, but in terms of like competitive, I don't see this being more than a 2.
Well, with fire being less and less of a threat right now, the only threat you'll have to worry about is Necrozma, being that Naganadel is weak to Necrozma.
I think it's more or less the deck space. Now, expanded, Skyfield, play this, and all the other GXs with Naganadel.
I mean, 2 to 3 on the bench plus a Naganadel or 2. Then you just tech in the one other.
Maybe. Well, let's see what the rest of the attacks do, real quick. So, 2 metal and a colorless, Gigaton Stomp. It does 120 damage, so that's not bad.
So all the
it's-
things weak to it will be one-shotted.
And then 2 metal and a colorless, Assembly GX. 50 damage plus 50 more damage for each prize card you have taken.
So it's essentially the reverse of Buzzwoles.
Now, oh wait, no, you couldn't even do that anyway, because I was going to say,
So
what
if you did Naganadela's GX attack, you could theoretically, well, you wouldn't be able to do it, 2 GX attacks, but theoretically,
Now, theoretically, if the opponent did the Naganadel resetting it, so we both have 3.
you could open it with Assembly GX at 150 damage.
Okay.
If they did the GX attack.
Okay, so that would, because
So-
even though you didn't take any prizes and you're down on prizes, does it
Just
count as
remember-
prizes taken?
We have seen with Buzzwole how good Beast Ring is with Necrozma, with thus mean we've seen how good Beast Ring is.
Yes.
It'll be a viable replacement once Elixir has completely removed from the game, or from Standard.
Mm-hmm.
It will not be hard getting energy to the field with a Beast Ring.
Oh, no, not in the slightest.
But it sometimes might take a sacrifice just to get it to turn on.
Mm-hmm. This might be that sacrifice? Or you think it's something else?
I am... Because you'll have to run Psychic Metal, because if you want to use Naganeo second attack, you will have to run a single Psychic. Or if you use Purple's...
thing, you can't take prizes.
Yeah, you're denying them prizes, you'll have to run at least one Celebi just to open up that possibility. But outside of that, you are... Naganeo's swinging for 100, up to 120. Plus, with the... Essentially having 250 hit points on the stage 1.
Okay.
With a single energy attack.
Let's see where this settles price-wise. If it's low enough, we'll definitely feature it on the channel. Or if it's consistent enough without it.
Or we just gave away the idea. See how tough it really is.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We've now got an Altaria. Altaria GX.
Altaria might be... It's between Altaria and Dragonite who is actually better overall for Dragons.
So it evolves from Swablu, 200 HP. So it's a pretty good dragon.
So fairies will have a field day.
Yep, so a fairy and a colorless, bright tone, 50 damage during your opponent's next turn. This Pokemon can't be damaged by attacks from your opponent's GX or EX. That's not bad.
50 damage and a chance to set up a little longer?
Yep, so Buzzwole can't hit it, Guardy can't hit it, just about anything can't hit it.
You mean basically the entire meta?
Just about the entire meta. And then Water Fairy Colorless, Sonic Edge for 110. This attack's damage isn't affected by effects on your opponent's active Pokemon.
You know, Fairy and Water have some of the best healings in the game. Plus some of the best techs you can have for the game.
Gudra,
Sylveon.
Yeah.
And Sylveon can fetch you the one water energy you need. Or you could use it to search out Lana or Lady just for the water energy.
Exactly. So this won't
I can see it getting a lot of play.
I think with the last two sets, or at least almost the entire block, running Dragon Pokemon has pretty much been
if the attacks are good enough.
Exactly.
I think the best Dragon Pokemon we've had in a long time was Garchomp.
Yeah, because it relied on one energy type, unlike everything else, which was the
friendly. This one isn't DCF friendly, but it has some of the best support setup Pokemon in the game. You have access to Glaceon, you have access to Sylveon, so you can wall your opponent, and you can set up with Sylveon.
Yep, and even then, you could always Smeargle to get the water energy, run mostly Fairy Heavy, or there's actually something coming, or there's something in the set that can help.
And if Dragon starts to become very big, like the Dragonite and the Rayquaza, this might be a counter, especially when you can run Fairies to counter other dragons.
So yeah, Water Fairy Colorless, 110, and its damage isn't affected by the opponent's active. And then for a Fairy and a Colorless, Euphoria GX. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep. Heal all damage from all Pokemon in play. From all your Pokemon in play.
Basically, you force your opponent to actually take a turn or two, and gets you basically a reset of damage on the field.
Oh yeah, easily.
Reset.
So I'm gonna let you talk about him.
Salamence. I will have to run this because it is my favorite dragon, and second to Tyranitar, it is my favorite. So, being that this is coming as this, which is when it's active, is a Lysander of an ability, and comes with an attack that doesn't require energy to be discarded.
That is true.
Unfortunately, dragons don't have very many tools for damage output outside of Choice Band and Devastating Field.
For now.
But so its damage output is limited. That's where the GX comes in when it can obliterate something.
Yeah. So now it's got an ability, Dragon Wind. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is your active, switch it with one of your opponent's bench. So it's a Lysander.
It's a Lysander once it's active.
Yep.
And what's so nice about this is that the GX makes it to where all non-EX and GX Pokemon have free retreat.
So you could pretty much use the ability, retreat, attack, whatever the new one is.
So yeah, so if you're shy of a Guzma, maybe you have a switch the GX back to this one, pull up a target, have the GX back up at one shot. The problem is getting on GX. We'll talk more about the GX when we come up to it. Gain the energy back onto it after it's done its attack.
Yep. And then for Fire Water 2 colorless, Dragon Claw for 100.
Sad to say, I don't think Salamon's going to see much play past because Dragonite's going to be taking over the format. Dragon version.
Firewater, but wasn't it Firewater Grass unit energy?
Yeah.
That might work.
But you had to remember you had to discard 2 energy. So I might just discard the DC, just count of the 2 energy, just attach another DC when I need it.
Wait, what do you mean? It just does 100.
Okay, I'm talking about the other one.
Okay, because this one, it could actually attack with 2 unit energy and a DC. It'd be special energy reliant, but it could work.
I might run it water heavy. We'll see, because there's a nice Quagsire coming out that will make water decks a little bit more playable.
So next up, we have Latios and Latias. Latias has 130. Latios has 140. So we'll go over the Latias first. It's a basic Pokemon. You can't have more than 1 Prism card, obviously. For 1 energy, Dream Mist, 30 damage, attach a basic energy from your discard to one of your bench basic Dragon Pokemon.
So far, there's only 4.
The hardest part is to get it. This seems like a mid-game attacker.
It definitely does.
Not the early game, but it's between mid and early game. When you get enough energy in the discard, and you can just load up the energy. But other than that window of time, it can be, late game it's going to be a nice recovery, but other than that...
Oh yeah, easily. And now we've got the Latias.
With Latios, Latios will probably see more play.
Yep.
As a one-up tech, obviously.
Obviously.
And it's DC friendly, and with the dragons being as prominent as they're going to be, it can peak 250 pretty easily.
Yeah, because double colorless energy, Dragon Fleet, 50 damage times the number of Dragon Evolution Pokemon you have in play. So that does a lot. That can stack up really, really quickly.
Rayquaza, possibly to be hyped either a pair with Bulu or a replacement for Bulu. We don't know yet.
It's definitely going to be paired with Vikavolt. That's going to be easy enough.
I can see split lines because Fairy still sees a lot of play, and because Dragon's going to be seeing a lot of play, Gardevoir might come back out of the woodwork just to be able to counter the Dragon matchup.
So yeah, so
we'll end up with trio type attacks decks again.
So yeah, 180 basic GX. Ability Storm and Stress. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to your bench, you may discard the top 3 cards of your deck. Then attach a basic energy from your discard pile to this Pokemon. So that just sped up Rayquaza.
If you're really worried about milling your deck, run a Pokedex or run like a Mallow, so something you want discarded goes along with the energy.
Yep, or even a grass, just a grass energy and
Grass or Lightning. Make sure one of those, the less prominent energy you have in the deck gets the one that gets discarded, so it goes right to Rayquaza.
Yep, because for a grass, a lightning, and a colorless, Dragon Beat or Dragon Break, 30 damage times the number of basic grass and electric energy attached to all your Pokemon in play.
So 6 energy, meaning 3 of them being on Rayquaza, is all it's needed to start hitting the numbers that you need.
Yep, Vikavolt just got a new partner.
Yeah, we don't know if it's going to replace. I can see it outnumbering Bulu in Bulu decks, but Bulu being there in case Fairy's seeing a little bit of play.
Except the thing is it's GX. 1 grass energy.
GX is amazing.
Discard your hand, then draw 10 cards.
It does fall to the point that people can play N and judge after rotation. However,
that's 10 cards in your hand.
You know, there's a search card, not really a search card, but a hand refresh card that doesn't see a whole lot of play. Very few Pokemon can actually get it to work. Hala, early game GX attack. You can actually tech it.
You get the 10. You don't get what you need. Hala for 7. 8?
Yeah,
7.
Hala for 7, which in most cases is better than Cynthia.
But even then, you pair this with Bulu. Bulu just got all the resources it needs.
It just opened up another draw support you can have for the deck, depending how fast you can get that to the active.
The thing is Bulu was already a solid deck, but it was always iffy. Couldn't hit a lot of the damage. It couldn't do it fast enough.
Pick up a lot of the matchups it couldn't get.
Exactly.
Because it doesn't have to have all the energy on itself. where
It
blue
just-
was limited to its own damage.
Yeah.
This can
In play,
lim-
period.
This could theoretically have no limit to its power,
Yeah.
up to the amount of energy you play in the deck.
So I think Requaque here just shot through the roof because it could pair really well with
I
Bulu
think it would be probably a split between Bulu and Rayquaza starting,
easily.
and we'll see which one actually gets
Edges
more
out.
of a.
All right. So next up we have Pelipper, colorless energy or 120 stage 1, colorless energy, 30 damage. Discard a fire energy from your opponent's active.
It would be nice if Fire State relevant after rotation.
Yeah, we'll see where fire sits, and then 3 colorless water pulse, 80 in their sleep.
Pre-release,
It'll
it will be a pre-release, not king, but
at least a good
competitor.
assist. Yeah, it's the firefighting. It's only going to depend on where fire sits after the meta. Now we get to something fun.
Whismer.
First off, Whismer.
If only you can only use item lock if you go second.
Yeah, so colorless, Shriek. You can use this deck only if you go second and only on your first turn. Your opponent can't play any trainer cards from their hand during your next turn.
So item lock turn 1 if you go second.
Yeah, that's really brutal.
So it stops plays later.
To play, next up we have X-Cloud.
Or if you've put metal in the deck, be death metal.
We're putting death metal, or we're building this deck.
Death metal.
It's just too hilarious, and the pun is too obvious. But X-Cloud, it's a stage 2, 150 normal. You're not hitting anything for weakness, but that's not
You
going to
have
be an
access
issue.
to basically every energy type, every possible strategy you can get to the deck to make it work. You have access to Fairy, which gives you Sylveon. You have access to Metal, which gets you Metal and Electric, gets you Magnezones. You see where I'm going with this? Getting energy to it won't be a problem.
Not in the slightest.
Keeping it all around, and we have weaknesses to fighting, which there's how many prominent fighting Pokemon out there?
Buzzwole.
Buzzwole, like
Yeah, there's
Lucario.
plenty. But
However, if you can lead with Coco to soften things up, start damage, you could clear up some damage.
because for 3 colorless energy, Death Live, which I hope they keep the name even though I know they won't, 80 damage. This attack does 30 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon that has any damage counters on it.
So Coco's an obvious answer, especially when you're running double colorless.
Coco's an answer. Fan Rotom, if you wanted to keep it normal, would work.
So the only downside, unless you have to cover the damage, I don't think we're using the second deck ever.
4 colorless,
Why
heavy
do 4
impact
for
100.
100
Yeah.
when you can do 3 for...
80 and 30.
So 30, that's...
Pair that with Forgotten Shrine.
You're doing up to a 230 across the board versus 100 to one target.
Yeah.
Now and again, that 100 could secure a knockout because you just soften everything up.
Mm-hmm.
But except for those plays,
Yeah.
you're not going to be using heavy impact.
We will run this deck.
We'll run the deck, but heavy impact's very situational. I can get the knockout now if I use it. Attack.
Next up, we have Delcatty. It's got 90 HP, stage 1. Ability, Friend Search. When you play this card from your hand to evolve a Pokemon during your turn, search or discard for 2 supporters, reveal them, put them into your hand.
If you have a lot of open deck spots in your deck for it, play it.
You know what the thing is in theory,
It's
you
2
could...
Versus-Seeker in one ability.
Here's
The downside takes up a bench spot.
Or if you played it right, you could get 3 supporters back in one turn.
Yeah?
You play that, grab a Lucamine and whatever you wanted,
Yeah?
play the Lucamine for your supporter for the turn, grab the other 2 that you needed.
Yes.
That's now 3 supporters in your hand.
Yeah?
Scoop up our Acerola. And then
The only downside, it takes up a bench spot.
and then DCE for 40.
So in a format where you don't want Lele, especially when you're running Prominent Shrine or Commandment Shrine, you don't want to be running Lele's because it puts everything in the range. You have an option. Yes, if you stay on the bench for a while, and because Skitty got the better attack of the 2, you probably won't be seeing much attack. You won't be kicking much,
No.
especially when you're colorless.
Yeah, this is pretty much like a mid to late game tech, just in case.
It's a viable card. Will it see play past our play? Probably not.
It'll be a rogue deck at most.
Why would I play that over Palpet?
Exactly.
Especially when you got Zoroark that could
Well-
just basically mill it back out.
It does go to your hand. and you're not playing a supporter for the turn in order to do it. So it's a Lusamine.
Taking up a bench spot.
It's a non-supporter Lusamine.
Or if you can anticipate the Pseudo Wudo, you could just play it down. When they play Pseudo, you just discard it.
Yeah.
But, oh well.
So yeah,
Kecleon.
it might see some play, but not a lot.
So
The
Kecleon.
Swablu, not really necessary.
If we end up with the other two, Unit Energy
Kecleons.
Kecleons, I will have a deck for Expanded, and I never play Expanded.
I know. So unit color 2? Wait. I just realized.
Unit Energy number 2.
So if this Pokemon has the unit energy Lightning Psychic Metal, it becomes Lightning Psychic
So
Metal.
this is number 2. Is there a 1 and a 3?
They should have a 1 and a 3. It's probably saved for whatever the next set is. So, and then let's see, it does for 3 colorless / for 80. Psychic weakness, you're doing 160. Or electric, you're doing 160. Metal, you're doing 160. Choice band, you're pretty much hitting a lot of stuff for weakness. Now we start getting to the fun stuff. Crisis Poison, heal 120, Trainer.
Probably won't see much of play outside of flail decks like Donphan and Medicham.
Yep.
But
But even then, heal 120 damage for one of your Pokemon that's 30 HP or less.
now is it outweighing using Max Potion over it,
Honestly, I think.
or just using Acerola to get it off the field?
Honestly, I still think this might see some play, maybe a 1-2 up, because you don't have to get rid of the energy, but you still do heal.
So Acrobike is back,
Acrobike's coming back, yay!
but Cargo.
You look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put one in your hand, discard the other.
We'll bring that back up with Macargo in the next set. But
Yeah.
in the next video.
Let's see, Ultra Ball's coming back.
Rare Candy
Rare Candy's coming back.
We're getting 2 rare candies essentially.
Switch coming back.
Oh.
Catcher coming back. Rainbow Brush. So you know how we were
It's Ninja Boy for basic energy.
Exactly. You get to search your deck for a basic energy, switch it with an energy card of one of your Pokemon in play, shuffle the switch energy. Wait, basic energy. Okay.
You swap. So you know how Executor has a 1 grass energy
Yeah.
in a Alolan box, and I always have that one problem with I have water energy instead of grass.
Mm-hmm.
Swap them.
Exactly. So this is the Smeargle for the deck.
Yeah.
And even then, the Altaria,
Yeah.
you play 3 fairy energy, swap one of them out for a water, you're now swinging.
Yes.
So this could definitely lead to some pretty cheeky plays, especially if you're running multi-energy
Oh
decks.
yes. Choice Band staying.
Choice Band staying.
Also Belt.
This is going to be a fun one. It's a Pokemon tool attached, all that's good stuff. If the remaining HP of the Pokemon this card is attached to is 30 or less, it does 60 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon.
60
You are
more.
not allowed to build decks around it. I know you're still going to.
Too
but
bad. Medicham will be the first.
Oh my god.
Donphan will be the second. And somewhere between Steelix and Slaking will be the third.
Okay, so we need to finish this up so I can go cry in a corner with all the possibilities you can have with this Hustle Bell.
There is that Magearna that can swap tools as well. You pick up a tool, put down another tool.
Okay, once we stop recording, you're going into the corner and you're thinking about what you're doing.
Making people's heads hurt.
So Steven's decision. Search your deck for 3 cards, put them into your hand, shuffle your deck, your turn ends. Unless you have the Metagross, which says it doesn't.
Steven says decision, despite how the turn ends, if you can plan it, it is actually 3 cards you have for the next turn.
Easily.
Being that Judge and Alima and Wick are pretty sure ways outside past rotation to force new hands.
Exactly.
So you're getting 3 cards regardless whether you like it or not.
Mid to late, they're probably willing to play the Ilima or anything to get rid of your hand, but early game,
You go for it.
go for it.
You're going to go for Steven, Garf Steven, and 2 other cards.
Fisherman's coming back, and I gotta admit, I do like the artwork on it.
Hi!
How's coming back?
And he's a champion now.
Yeah, he
About
looks
time.
he looks more upset now.
He's always looks. Or we're not using him.
And even then, we have How, we have Why Not.
I could see him get a little more play while we're waiting for the next Sycamore-like card.
Yeah. Well, now we have How, we have Why Not. Why not because?
Must be too easy.
All right. So Tate and Liza, choose one.
It choose one. It has Shauna as one of the effects.
Yep.
and
Shuffle your
also
hand to
has
your deck.
Switch.
Draw 5. or switch your active.
people probably won't be using the switch function all that much,
But the Shauna.
especially when we're not having a whole lot of draw support coming into the rotation.
Actually, you know what? This pretty much is whatever you need. This is either a Guzma or
Yeah, because switching, well, we're not. Item lock is going to be a little bit more of a thing now that meta's slowed down a bit, and Garbodor will still be around.
yeah.
So if you're in a Garbodor heavy format, run this instead. It's not item locked. Only locked by Sableye, and who plays Sableye? Me. But
Exactly.
um,
So it's either becomes a Guzma if we need it, or it's a hand refresh if we need it. I know for a fact we've needed one or the other, and this is pretty much, hey, you've got your options.
yes, options are always plus. Lily's
coming back?
Lily and Hal are probably going to be the ones that replace Sycamore, because until we get a new Sycamore card, these are probably the closest things we have to them.
Although this Lily, if your opponent has one remaining prize card, you can stuff your opponent into your bag, and if you're able to, you win the game. So just
It doesn't specify how. I'll leave it at that.
that just went dark. So now we got Lissa,
3 more cards.
which you get to search your deck for 2 Prism Star cards, reveal them, and put them into your hand. If you're running multi-Prism cards, this one might be
Buzzwole
good
might have just secured a world spot,
with this card.
because now I can turn 1, turn 2, Elisa for Prism, the Beast Energy, and INC early game.
You're right.
And it's-
Buzzwole just got
and-
more support.
Or they wait until after one Buzzwole's been knocked out. They have access to Beast Ring as well. They can accelerate all the way to Knuckle Impact in 1 turn,
Ow.
hitting at maximum firepower.
But speaking of that, we also have the Forbidden Shrine.
You
I know
will
it's
see this
called
a lot.
I know it's called Containment Shrine, but a lot of people are worried about that.
Commandment Shrine.
All right. So in between turns, put 1 damage counter on each GX and EX, both yours and your opponent's. So the thing is
It's a double-edged sword if you're running GXs.
yeah, because
You can use it to get GXs within range of your GXs, but that also puts your GX within range of theirs.
but as you just said with Liza, Buzzwole.
Might become it might just have secured a world spot
With this
because
and
of
Eliza.
Lysa.
And this too.
Yeah.
Because it takes a lot of Pokemon that were out of its range
But
and now puts it in its
To be
range.
fair, Espeon and Mewtwo it's now within range of them, a little easier now
Yeah.
because of that 1 damage it was missing, just an even 1 shot.
So
Now Mewtwo doesn't necessarily have to have Choice Band to get the 1 shot.
yeah, so it's only going to be a matter of time to see if the meta actually uses this as off. Or,
I will.
I know a lot of the 1 prize attackers will be running this deck because
Oh, yeah.
Buzzwole's taking damage, Lele's taking damage,
So-
Necrozma's taking damage, but
So you got Coco, you got Exploud, you got all this damage spread, plus Commandment Shrine. If someone were to just drop, let's say, a Porygon Z game,
yep. Now again, it might also give the Buzzwole an opportunity to knock out whatever you have.
if you're running
might get-
GXs or EXs,
It's possible. So it might have just got big. What else do we got? Sky Pillar. All bench Pokemon, yours and your opponent's, aren't affected by damage or effects from the attacks of an opponent's Pokemon.
so Cacturn can no longer hunt things.
Yep. Could Buzzwole still do the 30
It
with,
cannot do.
with
It
the Jet
cannot.
Punch?
It cannot snipe for 30.
But it could still hit the bench. Okay.
It cannot. It cannot hit the bench. It can hit the
So-
defending, but it can't hit the bench.
So
But
this pretty
now
much,
neither can Espeon.
yeah, nothing can really hit the bench now. All right, so now,
Abilities can, but that's about it.
yeah. And then
Double
DC.
Colors is staying in format, and Steven got a full art.
I like it. All right, so that is
That's the wrap up.
Celestial Storm.
If there are more combos we didn't mention, let us know.
Yes, please. Let us know all the cards you're excited for, all the combos we didn't mention, things that we got wrong. Please let us know down in the comments. While you're down in the comments, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Become a Poton Hero yourself. Hit us up on Facebook, facebook.com/Poton Heroes, and join us on PTCGO. We are Po_Town_Heroes. As always, may all your games go well, and may the top deck be in your favor. Till next time.